Hey, welcome to our Divine Origin Forum. Tonight's topic is Sacred Union. Please remain muted and we will start with an opening prayer. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support to those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. We thank you for answering the call from on high to attend the forum. Let us join our hearts and minds in preparation to receive the blessings offered. We ask you to please release your day from your mind and center yourself. Breathe in deeply and release. Breathe in deeply and release. Take one last breath in and release. Relax the tension in your body and your mind. Now bring your full attention to the forum. Be fully present in order to receive and fully retain the discourse gifts. Christine, if you could please start our quote, which is not recorded.
That short clip was very profound. Everything that was said on it, and I really hope that you go back in and listen to it a couple of times like I did. It really is the way. It's exactly what's happening to us. Thank you so much.
Barbara, could you please begin your discourse?
Thank you. Sacred union. The sacred union is us uniting together with that part of us that they call the bridal chamber. But I have said so many times, it's the union of the masculine and feminine polarities within us, within our heart. That's where we go. The most important concept of this teaching is to make sure that you remember to have a conversation on a regular basis with that part of you, the witness. The witness is your divine self, the one that's watching the whole show, putting together our higher self, put together every day for us. And as we experience everything that comes up in our lives, the witness is watching our response or our reaction. The witness, the soul, is taking that information once we get it right, so that we don't have to keep repeating the situation over and over again. I've said many times that the universe sets up everything in advance because everything's written. Your whole story has been written. Yes, you can interrupt it. Yes, you can refuse to do it. And that's a shame because then guess what? You're going to be very disappointed when you go to the other side and say, "Oh my God, I did it again. I stopped before I was done. I didn't take advantage of all the opportunities that were offered to me to finish this journey here." And it's a very sad thing when you go through that bardo and see how many times we were offered the gift of gifts and we didn't want to go there. We didn't want to be hurt. We didn't want to feel on that level, and we refused to do it. This whole trip we're on here is a trip of surrender, letting go of our little ideas about what am I going to do today to have fun? It isn't about that. It's what am I going to do today? Period. I align myself with my divine plan To me, that's the most important thing that I could do first thing in the morning. I am basically surrendering to whatever was written for this holy day. If it means being quiet and alone, so be it. If it means going out in the world, not even knowing what's coming, so be it. If it means having a deep discussion with someone or getting into something that maybe two people really needed to have that conversation, so be it. And when you get to the point where you're not fighting anything anymore, you allow your life to play out. You face yourself, you listen to yourself. This is living consciously. We can still close down and just have a little party or a pity party, even if you want to. Nobody tells you what to do. However, you are aware because your higher self is right there giving you the script for the day. And we learn it as we go along. We're not warned ahead of time with the to-do list for tomorrow. What is on that list would have to be spontaneously responded to or reacted to. If you have warning, then it sets you back because you're already in here figuring out how you're going to work this all out. There are times when you have plans and you do go out and you meet with people and you do things. So what I've always taught myself was the Christ in me greets the Christ in whoever I'm going to meet today. And what it does, it changes the dynamics of the interaction from a very pure state of welcome to that person and that person to you, because you're walking in there with love in your heart, not looking for a fight, not looking to be so special or to one up on somebody or to do anything but just be you. And when you are spontaneous, that's when you get to see yourself in living color. So this incredible union that they're talking about is the mystical marriage that I've mentioned in many, many times over the years. The mystical marriage that happens inside you of the divine and your human experience, the personality and the soul, the incredible coming together, knowing that there was never any separation between my divine experience and my life here. It just seemed like it because of all the bells and whistles and all the distractions and all of the I want to do this and I want to be that and I want to make a name for myself and I want to make lots of money and that's your brain kicking in attached to that wonderful ego of ours. It isn't the enemy. It just needs to be trained. So this incredible dance that we're doing here now, when they say you can move mountains, what that is symbolic of is that you can move the mountains of things that you felt you could never accomplish, that you could never get over, that you could never actually do in this lifetime. You are unlimited when you're connected to that part of you that is divine. All day long, and you can confirm it with Charlie, I'm talking to my higher self. And he keeps saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about. And I have to remind him I'm not talking to him. But now he just doesn't even pay attention to me, to tell you the truth. And that's sad because I need him sometimes to pay attention because I asked him to do something and he totally didn't hear me. Just a little fun there. So this bridal chamber, it's really a very, very holy experience, and it is permanent once you lock and load. Now, most of you have done quite a few steps. And how do I know this? Because just like on the video, he was saying that you can't be bought into the world stuff, politics, all of the stories that we are fed in the news. Most of us here, that's the last thing we're going to fall for. So it shows me a great deal of growth and coming together with this marriage inside you. And then when you reach the pinnacle of this, it's not like, you're going to fly off into la la land, but what you're going to be is a whole new being, even more than what I see you now. And believe me, you guys have really, really prepared yourself for these days. The universe, like Metatron was saying, is sending in so much intense light. We're probably going through a proton, I think you call it, belt, where the energy is magnified. And what it does is it literally gives you everything energetically that you need to make this transitional steps. And believe me, there's so many steps. It's not like on and off. It's step by step, because how many times do we have to really think about it? If something happens too intensely or all at once, it's overwhelming, and your higher self never wanted that to happen to you. So slowly but surely, you walk through each step and stage of this. Yes, we get tangled up in the world. We do. Sometimes it's a mission. Sometimes it's a calling. Sometimes it's just a desire. Sometimes it's more. Lots of complicated aspects to it. You know, because it becomes a passion for you. That's what happens. Yeah. But never get lost in it. Because if you get lost in it, you separate yourself from the divine part of you. And you're all in your head trying to figure this thing out. I can tell you from 50 sacred journeys, I learned what this really means, this whole journey of ours, where you have to let go and let God. You never look for an outcome, anything you're called to do. You simply walk that walk, say what comes to you in inspiration, and carry out what you believe in your heart is exactly what you're meant to do without expectation. It isn't up to us to decide the outcome of anything. We're here to follow the love and light that is given to us. And as a result of that, we become the witness of God's great plan playing out every day of our life. Sometimes even more on certain days. Other times, it's like your mouth drops open because you're seeing things that you never thought you would understand or witness yourself. So when I was traveling, at first, I thought I had to make sure everything is perfect, and I drove myself crazy. By the fourth trip, I would say it took me about 4 trips to relax and really start to enjoy, because I knew it wasn't about me. It wasn't about me doing anything but listening to the guidance and carrying it out. And whatever happened as a result, I'm just doing my job. You see, I didn't look for expectations of results because that's not my place. I don't know the mystery of God's plan, and either do you. And in the end, looking back, we will find out our part and what it was all about. If you do anything and it is based on love and true purpose and wanting to make a difference in the world, then that was what you were called to do. Just that. And God will use everybody. He'll use the agitators. He'll use the good guys, like we call them, the good guys, and the bad guys, and everybody that's needed to make the results that God has in his plan for us, for all of us. So that's the oneness. All of us serve a purpose. And so when Jesus said, "Thou shalt not judge," please don't judge the sleepers. Don't judge those that are agitators. They're doing their job. Some of them like it a little too much, I can tell you that much. And others do it because they know that that's why they're here. That's why they're in your life. And those agitators can also be our friends as well. Eventually finding that once I see with the eyes that truly see and hear with the ears that truly hear, by purifying my consciousness and getting rid of my filters, then I could see people differently. I can see they had a part to play and they played it well. You will too. And I'm sure you are seeing it right now. Some of you are very much experiencing all of this. I'm here to remind you of what you already know. Some of us have it so deeply hidden inside us because actually we're more afraid of our power because we've misused it in the past, in other lifetimes, than we are of our shadow. And that's the truth. I was scared to death to feel what it's like to have power over anything. So I'm sure I wasn't the only one put on earth with that feeling. And I've also counseled enough people to tell you that is a very common thing. So what do we do with this bridal chamber? There's nothing to do. It's allowing it to happen. Having this constant relationship with your higher self, asking the right questions in order to wait on the answer. Sometimes it comes through a casual conversation with another person, and they say something and it's like a bell goes off in your head. Other times you're led to watch a video or maybe a conversation between two people on a Zoom. You just never know where the words are going to come from that's going to touch a part of you that needed to hear exactly those words. So allow your life to unfold. Don't try to control it. Don't try to fix it in the sense that, all right, that's it. I'm gonna stay away from everybody because they're really agitating me. Well, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea at all. We really need people. So if you are alone in your home or you feel lonely because you don't have your family around you or whatever the situation, get out and do things. Meet people. I went to the grocery store in this little town of mine, and I laughed from the minute I got in there till the minute I left. My sides were aching. I come out like almost an hour later, and Charlie goes, "What were you doing in there? All you went in for was cherries." And I said, "They didn't have any." And he's staring at me because I had 3 bags of groceries. Everyone I met they just started talking to me. And it was so funny, the things that they were saying and the way that it all was put together, and forget the checkout when I was checking out, because the guy behind me was flirting with the girl. She put my eggs in the bottom of the bag and piled everything on top of it. I had 2 eggs in 1 dozen that was crushed and 1 egg in the other, because I'm watching the energy between these two. I said, either they've lived together before or they definitely are going to be together. Life becomes so fascinating. Every place you go, you see something that just, it's awesome. That's all I can say. Every day is an opportunity to go deeper into that chamber. But you've got to think about, who do I talk to? I talk to Joe, John, Billy, Bob, everybody in my world. Do I talk to my higher self? Do I seek answers within myself to learn to trust that part of me? Or do I constantly look outside myself for the answers that I'm seeking? These are the things that you really need to become conscious of, because I'm telling you that clock is ticking. It is ticking, and it's very loud in my head. And I definitely know that the time is going to come where the intensity is going to be so great. And if I'm not used to being in my center and asking my higher self to explain things to me or to show me the way or to point out what I need to know, I will be lost. And so will anybody else that's not doing it as well. These warnings are not for to scare you. These warnings are not to just say, yeah, I'll be just fine. I'm strong. Yeah. So I'm saying it to you to remind you of the importance of you coming into this bridal chamber within you, into your heart, and start to really take this seriously. We're smart and we have a lot of experience. Some of us are ancient of days over here, and we've been through it, we've been through it all. But guess what? We're all older than dirt. Every single one of us. We've been back and forth into these lives, boys and girls, and back and forth, and mother is my father now, and da 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 da. And we're still cooking because we're not done. But this is what you have to look forward to. Make every day count. Make it fun. Really make it fun. For those of you that don't like people, don't really want to be with them because it's so much more comforting to be home, please go out and interact with people more than just a phone call. Be in the energy fields of other people and see what you feel like. And you'll know where you are, because you'll feel like darts are attacking you if you're still have a lot of stuff that you need to clear out. Or you'll feel so happy and joyful and have so much fun with people that you'll feel like you died and went to heaven. I really encourage you. Do you want to have this union and be so powerful in your love and light, and everything in your life just falls into place? It's just remarkable, just remarkable. What seems impossible just happens. It just works its way out. It's just a mighty heavenly experience. That's what it is. And you can have that every day of your life. All you got to do is finish up. Let go of everything. For heaven's sakes, don't hang on to grudges. Don't hang on to old stuff that happened to you, even if it happened last week. You know what? It's not worth it. It lowers your frequency. It makes it so you have to have more experiences, the same stuff, until you learn you don't carry it with you. Let it go. It's not for them. It's for you. It's for you. Because no way can you take that weight with you. It lowers your frequency to the point where you can't take the next step. Now, people might say, well, that's not fair. I want to take the next step. Well, then I'll give you an opportunity. Your higher self says, let's do it again. We've only done it 20 times and you have not cooperated, or you refuse to deal with it after it happens. We can't blame our higher self or our guides or all those angels hanging around you guys. There's nothing to blame. It's just us taking responsibility for our part. And everything is set into motion. Everything we need is available to us. But those of us that walk around afraid to be around people, or the world that, you're afraid to be out in it, stop doing that to yourself, because then the universe is going to say, oh, all right, so we'll show her that she's right, or him. We'll show you. Yeah, it's too scary to be out there. Don't do that to yourself. You're creating with your thoughts and your beliefs and your patterns every holy moment that you're standing on this planet. I've been through years and years of trying to get it right. And all I ever tell you is what I learned that was right. This is the way. This is what Jesus taught us. I know Philip. I know him very well. And I know what he wrote. And it was powerful. You can find it in the Ethiopian Bible, what he wrote. You're not going to find stuff like this in the Bibles that, we have generally written. There was so much taken away from us. Again, what was said on the video was because we can't be controlled when we know the truth. When we know that the power of God is right inside us and we can use it just the way Jesus did. He didn't come to be this big shot showing us, hey, I'm the only one that can do this, buddy. Too bad, too sad, but I'll tell you a couple of little parables here and get you on the road. That's not what he did. He told you exactly what you needed to hear. And some of you actually sat at his feet and learned it from him directly. And even though a lot of it was in parables, because we were very wise at that time, that was the reason we got to sit at his feet. We were able to understand a lot more, and we did ask questions of his disciples who helped us to understand. They didn't hold stuff back. They did the best they could to explain to us. So don't in any way or form feel that you're any less, because Jesus wanted you to see what your potential was through him. Okay. So I'm going to stop so we can hear the song, and I will do my closing statement. My closing statement. Anyone listening on YouTube, you can hear everything that we do except segment 2 by going on the website, ourdivineorigin.com. You'll have the links to everything. So that's wonderful. And we invite you to join the forum and be part of this. It's a wonderful experience, especially what you don't see. We have a great time in segment 2. All right. So thank you so much for listening. And all of you that are here tonight, God bless you. Thank you. And know that you were called to be on tonight.
Thank you, Barbara. And Christine, if you could stop the recording and play the song, please.
That beautiful, it was actually not a song, but I felt it was so beautiful. It was a tribute to a healed person who's looking out of the eyes of love at everybody and everything. And the pictures were very beautiful as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. Um, it is so true that this is an opportunity for all of us to hold hands and help each other through the hardships of what we have produced in our world, and learn from other people that have walked the same path and understand the way out. Okay. So that was a great gift that I hope you watch it yourself when you do go back on and listen to what we listened to tonight. It is worth listening to. Thank you so much.
Could give your
Okay. So sacred union. The union is the joining together of the two polarities of your male and female that have been working together through other people outside of you, the men in your life and the women in your life. Some people never get along with other men or other women, depending on what gender you are. They find such a struggle with it. Some people have problems with both genders, and that is constantly reflecting in the people that you draw to you by your higher self, bringing them into your life to show you what battle's going on right inside your own body. the wanting to be superior or wanting to be the smarter one or wanting to somehow outdo the other polarity that you came in as a female or a male. And it is quite it's not, at that point, it's not even a dance, it's a battle. And you're going to find that um, as you went through those experiences, what you were doing is witnessing yourself in action. It was giving you hints and sometimes blatant understanding of exactly what you're doing inside your own body, the battle that was going on between the male and female. Yeah. And so the actual sacred union, people think it's their marriage. And when I did ceremonies, I've done a lot of them. I'm telling you, it is a sacred union in the sense that you open up yourself so that both of you can work together on the deepest levels. So that's why when you have a very combative type of relationship with your spouse or your partner, whatever your situation is, um, you are saying to yourself, this is marriage. This is what I signed up for. What's sacred about it? Well, the sacredness is that you had a contract to show each other exactly what you needed to cleanse inside both of you, not just one of you. And the one that seems like the bully or the bad guy is really the good guy helping the person that had the potential to become the light. So it's misunderstood. Relationships are misunderstood. The people that we think are our worst enemies, the ones that picked on us at school and made fun of us, they had a task. They had a task. Parents that didn't give us what we felt we needed, they had a task to show us what we came in with. And people who were our friends, they had a task too to hold us together for the tough times with that we had to go through. All of this, everything, as harsh and difficult and hard to even understand how we could sign up for this and why we have to go through it this way is because we've had thousands and thousands of opportunities to clear it, but we weren't awake enough to do it because we had to go through things if in an awake state would have taken us out, running down the street in our sneakers like that guy. Yeah, because we would have lost it. We couldn't have handled that much pressure on us. So in the grace of God, the mercy of God is about doing things slowly and methodically, bringing us step by step through all of these different experiences, losses that tore our hearts right out of our chest, and other experiences, physical accidents where our bodies were crushed and uh, it didn't even look like we were going to make it through, or surgeries that went bad, or whatever your situation is. Everything happened for a reason. Everything changes you. Every experience you have, especially the traumatic ones, brings you into a state where you have to really reflect on where you were and where you want to be. So this is your opportunity, especially those that are 50 and older. It's the time when we look back, look in, and get real with ourselves. Stop making believe. We make believe we're okay. We're not okay until we really are okay. And nobody's going to ask you that question because they'll see it on your face. They'll feel it in your fields. I was a big phony baloney. I didn't want anybody to know my suffering. And it was deep and it was harsh. And so I walked around la 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 la, like nothing was ever wrong. And then I got real because one day I saw myself smiling when I was miserable. And I said, "What are you doing?" What are you doing? Get real. Be able to admit that you're miserable. And I did. And then I went all the way to the other side and I never stopped. And then I came back to center a little better. And then I went through it again. And then I came back. And then I went through it and I went back. And then everything, as you take in the light, as you progress along the journey into the bridal chamber, where you're healed and centered and it's permanent and beautiful, then you start having the strength to face things you think you're done. You're not. You start facing things now that you have the strength to, with all the light you've taken in, to really get to work on things you never wanted to revisit. And you take care of it because you can, because your higher self waited until you had enough knowledge and understanding so that you can come through this like a master. And then you never leave that chamber outside of love. You will have situations happen, but you will respond to them. No longer will you react. Fear doesn't have any place in your life. You might feel it for a second and then say, stop it. God will always take care of me. Always. And you have to believe what you're saying. And I believe that. And if ever a year was on me right now, as it is, and that I believe this with all my heart, and I keep watching the miracles happen, that whenever I need something, it does come out of the clear blue where you least expected it to ever show up. It's just the way it's supposed to be. So have the courage to keep going forward. Get over yourself on the things that you're angry about or frustrated or that you have learned to believe, because there are bad people doing bad things that God uses them too. There has to be opposites in this world in order for us to learn. It has to be. If everything was on the same part of the line, where would we go? Nowhere. We'd be sitting back watching the soaps and eating bonbons all day. There'd be nothing to work on because we wouldn't realize the opposite of what we're looking for. You see? So with the grace of God always with us, and every day, thank God for that. Grace and mercy, that's what we have to bring us through the toughest times that we've ever seen on this planet in our lifetime, this lifetime. This one is, we're watching the demolition of a matrix completely crashing all around us. And those that are still in it are running for their lives. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle it. And those that have their eyes wide open and have prepared themselves for these days, we can watch it and say, God is at work here. And everything that's crashing is being replaced by the truth, the real world we live in, the paradise that started out until we got our hands into it and started messing things up because we thought we knew how to handle energy, but we didn't. But it was a learning experience. This is school, and it's not kindergarten. We're in graduate school. And even though I was never a good tester, I've learned. I've learned to deal with it because I have the confidence in myself that I know God will never, never walk away. I walked away. God never walks away, because who do you think you really are at the highest version of yourself? That's who animates you. Okay. So on that note, I won't keep beating the horse. I'm just saying to you, you have everything you need to have the bridal chamber experience to the level where you are where you need to be, to see everything through the eyes of love, to respond in love. And sometimes tough love is required. Don't think it isn't. However, it's still love. And everything you need to do, concentrate on you. You don't tell people what to do or how to do it or what they should do. What are we, playing God for them? They have their own God to listen to. But just be there to pick them up when they make a critical error that they can't quite figure out how to get out of. That's where we come in. We could stand there and love them through the whole thing, hold their hand, metaphorically, in light. Okay? So, you great lights, I'll say good evening for this week and see you next week with a wonderful topic that's on a whole nother discussion than tonight. God bless you. And those watching, you can find our website at ourdivineorigin.com. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you, Barbara. I will read our closing prayer. Please remain muted. We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention and for your wonderful questions, comments, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency even higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know that we are deeply loved and richly blessed. So be it. We invite all of you to remain for a 10-minute prayer before saying goodnight to each other. We will be closing the evening with a planetary prayer as our collective call for the light to bless every kingdom upon the earth, to create a new heaven and a new earth. The words are on the screen to help you recite this beautiful prayer. Christine, if you could please start the planetary visualization.
So let's sit nice and tall in our seats, our feet on the ground. Straighten up your spine. Let that light be able to move nicely through your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Call up that light into your feet, up your legs, the trunk of your body, your arms, hands, up your neck and in your head as it loops back down into the earth, through your body, out the soles of your feet in a continuous flow. Let's begin setting everything into motion. I call for the divine Christ radiance to surround me, hermetically sealing around me. Nothing but love can penetrate this seal of divine light. I call for the divine light to enter my crown directly from source, moving through every atom, molecule, cell, and energy within my body and fields. The flow of divine light moves through my body into the earth, out through the soles of my feet, continuing in a steady flow and building in potency. I ask my higher self to connect my heart with the other prayer warriors all over the world, to create a unified effort as one mind, one heart, one intent. I call to the benevolent beings of light for their assistance. I ask my higher self to add power to the words of this planetary visualization. Now let us rest in the divine light, concentrating on our breath and on the light flowing. Let it clear your mind, breathing in the divine light and hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. One last time, breathing in the divine light. Hold it. Now breathe out all the divine light. Extending your arms, turn the palms of your hands to face each other, about a foot apart. Visualize the earth and her atmosphere between your hands. The light will begin to flow into your hands and into the earth and her atmosphere. You'll feel it flowing. Let us call in the divine light. I am calling the violet ray as violet fire to flow directly from source into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating into the earth's surface all the way through to the core in a steady flow. I am calling the divine Christ radiance to move through my body, out through my hands and heart. The divine light is pouring into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating the surface and continuing to the center of the planet in a steady flow, blessing the earth in divine light. Now let us direct the divine light with authority. I am directing the divine light into the planetary grid lines, the electronic grid and meridian lines surrounding the earth, the ley lines crisscrossing the earth, repairing and charging these lines as the divine light moves in a continuous flow. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the kingdoms represented on earth and all life within each kingdom, the elemental, plant and food chain, the animal kingdom, human kingdom, angelic kingdom, and all kingdoms known and unknown. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the dimensions of the earth, penetrating these dimensions and all life within each dimension. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the waters of the earth, on the surface, under the surface, in the atmosphere, and all life within these waters, purifying the water as God intended in the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all land masses, the continents and islands of land upon the earth's surface, and all life living upon the surface and under the surface. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the cities, towns, and communities upon the land, and all life living within inhabited locations on the earth. I am directing divine light to penetrate all of humanity on earth, every man, woman, and child incarnated on earth, lifting them in the light, awakening and ascending ever higher as divine source intended from the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all species of animals on the land, flying in the sky, all organisms and elementals on the surface and beneath the surface of the earth. I am visualizing the benevolent beings of light upon the earth, assisting all humanity, showing us the way, guiding us, assisting those awakened, and embracing those just awakening, leading humanity to a higher reality and to bring the concepts of a higher order of divine love for yourself and others. Now breathing deeply, taking in the entire picture of all that you have visualized, marveling as you help create a new heaven and a new earth, filled with divine light as divine source intended from the beginning. Let us express our gratitude. I am thanking the benevolent beings of light for their assistance and guidance. I thank my higher self for giving power to my words, manifesting my divine vision. I thank the divine light for its steady flow of purity to all creation. I thank Mother Earth for providing all of our needs from her abundance and beauty. I thank the angels in every color of the rainbow for their daily assistance and blessings. And I thank our divine source for all of creation. Concentrating on your hands as that light is pouring into the earth. And now place your hands upon your heart and feel the divine flow of light, giving thanks for being of service to our divine source. Now rest your arms, press your feet to the floor, become aware of your surroundings. And when you are feeling ready, open your eyes and return fully present. This visualization and directives of light is to co-create and manifest the transformation of our planet, giving back to her for all she offers to us. This is God's plan for this planet and all life upon her. So be it, and so it is. Amen and amen. You can have a copy of this visualization and a prayer to cleanse the earth. Visit our website, ourdivineorigin.com. Thank you.
Okay. Christine, if you could stop the recording for the night and turn the host back to Barbara.